Hello everypony, me again, and we're back with episode 17 of season 8 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and this one is entitled The End in Friend. Ooh, ominous. I already know that this is a Rarity and Rainbow Dash episode, but aside from that I haven't really heard anything. No real indication as to whether the episode is good or bad, or even as to what the real conflict is besides a clash of personality. So, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from this one. Which, on the one hand, is kind of exciting, because, fully blind, but on the other hand, I don't know what to say. And that hasn't happened in a while for MLP, so, it's kind of cool. Whatever, I'm in a fairly good mood today, so let's just get right into it. Let's just watch the episode. And we'll be starting the episode in 3, 2, 1, play. And starting at the school, and that is adorable. Oh, hey, Starlight.
Just the pony I'm looking for. Can you come to Twilight's class with me? It won't take long.
Okay.
Oh, I'd love to help, but I have to meet Rainbow Dash for our day of fun together.
Twilight wants to use you as an example for the students.
Well, can't...
Your example is here!
Can't,
Oh! I thought I was the example. You both are.
Oh.
Because together you perfectly demonstrate my lesson on compromise and friendship. Rainbow Dash and Rarity have very different interests that keep them busy.
Yep.
But being friends is so important to them, they always manage to make time for each other.
Our day of fun was hard to plan, what with Rainbow Dash's extremely time-consuming and erratically scheduled Wonderbolts practice.
And Rarity's weird fashion sense. She's working on her winter collection, and it's not even summer yet. But you still found time to be together, and that's what counts. See, class? These ponies are models of true friendship in action.
Right. How's it gonna go wrong?
Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your day of fun. Ooh! What amazing stuff are you gonna do together? Shoe races.
Wait, what?
Shopping. Flat shopping.
What?
Oh, come on. I even said shopping that time. Perfect. We'll go shopping first. But I brought stuff for Buck Punch. Are we supposed to be learning something here? Because this doesn't sound like compromising at all.
Yeah.
You guys have nothing in common. How can you be friends?
Oh. Oh. Okay. So, I think I see where this is going. This seems like it could be a better version of Uncommon Bond from last... was it last season? Yeah, it was last season. So yeah, they're searching for something that they do have in common so that they can find an excuse for why they hang out. Which is... kind of a weak premise, but... if the lesson at the end is basically that people who are very different can still like each other and hang out with each other.
Even though Rainbow Dash and Rarity enjoy doing different things, there are plenty of reasons why they're friends.
It could just be that they enjoy doing those things together.
We've always been friends. Always?
Well,
no, not always.
Oh dear.
But for like a super long time.
Okay, I'm a little bit
We know all the same.
on edge now, though, because I don't really like this writer,
it?
so she'll have to wow me.
That time during the Cloudsdale Best Young Flyer competition,
You...
totally saved Rarity's life.
Yes, and I once proved Rainbow Dash's innocence to her beloved Wonderbolts when she was being framed for a mysterious incident.
Cool. What else?
Yeah, aside from those two really great
It
callbacks...
may seem like Rarity and Rainbow Dash don't have that much in common when you try to put it into words, but sometimes friendships can't be explained. You just have to see them in action to understand.
Fair enough.
Actually, that's a great idea.
Oh no. No! This is a horrible idea.
Day of fun as you normally would.
Um,
Even though we're here.
um,
Game on!
aw. Oh, hey. Appaloosins.
Rarity! You were supposed to be holding your bucket!
Oh, sorry, darling. Wearing this drab jersey gave me an idea for a buckball-inspired line of athleisure wear
I mean,
that would allow for maximum flexibility and style. But I'm ready now.
Good, because this time I'm gonna try something new and super intense.
Okay. What is this episode so far? Whoa! Okay, that's new. She just casually Sonic Rainboomed the ball.
Of course. I
That-
have my bucket and everything.
But you have to catch the ball.
This is why we didn't have Rarity in the actual Buckball episode.
Forget it.
But,
She's never gonna understand the point of this game. Buckball time is over.
Aw.
Finally.
See? They did something Rainbow Dash likes, so now it's time for something Rarity likes. Compromise.
Fair enough.
I'm genuinely not sure. Are they too in style?
Isn't that what you want them to be?
Yes, but
There's
they
a
should be
lot
ahead
of
the
glitter
curve.
and
If they're in
bedazzles
fashion
and whatnot.
Right now, then they're practically already out.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, not really.
Perhaps I should get the stilettos.
Also, I
instead.
thought Rarity was a trendsetter, not a trend follower.
Unless you like tripping with every step, heels on a horse are pretty useless.
They are perfect in a multitude of situations. Formal
I
functions,
mean,
afternoon teas, evening
is that the
teas,
first time they called themselves
tea,
horses?
royal
Can they
tea.
clean up glitter? Ew, it's on my hooves.
Think about it this way, when you'll fly now, you'll be trailing glitter and that'll look awesome.
This is so boring. Rainbow Dash and Rarity are just, showcasing an aspect of friendship called banter. The playful and friendly exchange
And
of remarks.
tolerance.
It's all in good fun.
Ooh, I mean, they do both look excited for this.
Gemstones is my favorite.
Finally, something we can agree on. Treasure hunting.
Basically. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
See every creature? That didn't take long. Now they're having a great time together.
Not for long.
Magnifique! This will be perfect for the emerald-encrusted romper I've been working on.
Cool. Now what would be even cooler is if we could find a treasure chamber or something.
Rainbow, it's not a Daring
Our
Dude dungeon.
secret door. Where would I be?
If you open up a secret door, it's just going to be into Maud's chamber. Also, you're about to...
Rainbow Dash, could you please refrain from all of that racket? It's muddying my concentration.
Ooh, look, a lever.
That's not a...
It's stuck. Come help me, Rarity.
Just a moment.
This is not going to end well.
Yeah.
Oh!
You ruined my gems. Yeah, well, you
I mean-
ruined my treasure hunt.
Oh, this
Oh,
wasn't
dear.
about treasure. It was about finding gemstones for my winter collection.
Who cares about clothes? We're supposed to be on an adventure together.
That is it. This day of fun is officially over.
Fine by me. Maybe I can spend some time doing something I actually like now.
Oh dear.
Surely you don't mean that. You're just having a little disagreement. Sometimes that happens between pals. But no matter what, they can always get past the problem and stay good friends. I don't think we can. I don't care about any of the things I like. It's always about you and your boring fashions.
Oh, please. You don't even give my interests a chance. You have absolutely no respect for the finer things. No respect, I tell you.
We're just not friends anymore.
Elements of harmony have to work. I mean, this can't last, obviously.
And then there was the time Rainbow Dash called my Cloud Cell Couture Boutique idea impractical. Imagine that. Just because I needed Twilight to perform the butterfly wing spell on me whenever I wanted to deliver merchandise.
Or you can hire a Pegasus.
1,000 times. Pegasi don't even want restrictive heavy dresses. We need to be able to fly. Duh.
They could be
Not to
lightweight.
mention the day I was wearing a really
Are they talking to Starlight or someone else?
didn't even notice.
The Wonderbolt
Wow.
show was ruined. Where
Starlight. Okay. Oh, I like the geode on her desk.
Problems, not telling me everything that's ever happened in the history of Equestria. I've learned sometimes talking isn't enough. You need to put yourselves in one another's shoes.
Not literally.
No way am I wearing those.
What I'm saying is we need a way to help you two reconnect. Follow me.
Oh, okay. What was that?
The library? And this helps us how?
Shh!
You both
It's a
love
library.
books.
Be quiet.
Rainbow Dash never stops talking about daring do adventures, and you're a huge fan of Shadow Spade mysteries.
Nice. That is true.
Your point?
The perfect way for you two to reconnect as friends is to read each other's favorite book. I'll read them too. Then we'll all discuss afterward. It'll be a good friends book club, okay?
Okay. That sounds good.
Snacks.
Fine, if you insist.
That food is always a good way to get people to listen to you.
Great! We're all here. To start, why don't you two share one thing you liked about each other's books?
Nothing. Really?
Okay, I'll go first. I really enjoyed the part in Daring Do and the Razor of Dreams when Daring used a vicious crocodile as a raft, and then...
Please. What's so funny? Oh, sorry. It's just that I find those action sequences so ridiculously over the top. But they're real. You even met Daring Do. Yes, but the book's descriptions just drag on. And what about all those silly, unpronounceable names? Dr. Whoosy, what's it, Caballero. Caballeron! Just like it looks!
Oh my...
How hard is that?
A tea? Any pony? Cucumber sandwich?
This is not working
We
out.
could go over some nice, friendly talking points.
Seriously? Don't even get me started on those clothing descriptions in Shadow Spade. What are your
Okay, I think I see where it's going. Where each book goes and why they each like them.
Shadow Spade mystery.
It's pretty interesting to note. Oh, the blush.
Know that Sir Fluffingsworth von Radishfield wears only silk double-breasted waistcoats. You'd never deduce
I mean-
that he, in fact, was a culprit.
Interesting.
He was? You didn't even read it!
I can see I'm gonna need reinforcements.
Not my fault it's so boring and put
That
me to
was a
sleep.
great...
If you can't be bothered to read the thing I like, that just further illustrates the point that we have nothing in common anymore!
Oh dear,
At least
a
we
public
agree on
breakup.
that. From now on, I'm only hanging out with ponies who get me!
Your drama can wait. Twilight needs help. Now!
Okay, that is a good point. What's she...
Any luck?
No, it's gone! What's gone? The Amulet of Aurora. One of the magical items you've been keeping for Princess Celestia.
Oh,
That amulet.
Okay, they
reverses
staged
tides
this.
and summon tsunamis. If
Oh.
it falls into the wrong hooves, Equestria will be in grave danger.
this is so staged, it's
Twilight.
hilarious
I know
and
tons about
ridiculously.
searching for lost treasure. And if
Obviously.
I follow the culprit's clues, I'm certain I can find who took your amulet. Thank you. I'll feel so
Yeah,
much
not
better
much time
knowing you two are
left,
looking for it.
but-
Together.
While we work on a locator spell. It's the perfect solution.
Sure.
There appear to be no signs of damage to the surrounding artifacts, suggesting the thief did not leave in a hurry.
Oh, tons of...
Rarity, your boots are leaving sparkles all over the floor.
Wait, no, those are a different color.
Those aren't from my boots. Mine are magenta, not blue. See?
Well, I mean,
Really?
yeah, that is a very obvious trail. How is the trail that obvious?
Boots were not made for trotting, as advertised.
Also, how is it arching in the air like that?
Where are you going?
What?
We
What?
promised Twilight we'd work together. Don't you see? The Amulet of Aurora is made out of azuritium.
What? Oh,
Azuritium?
magical gem dust.
You know, the same metal that the Amulet of Atonement from Daring Do Book 4 is made from. It always leaves sparkles wherever it goes. Just like this. Remember? It's from the book you just read.
Well, about that.
The one I just read. Seriously? After giving me all that grief, you didn't read mine either? Oopsie. As soon as we
Okay,
find
that
this
was
amulet, we
good.
are done with each other.
Come on.
Fine by me.
I like that explanation. Leaves a magical sparkle trail. So, Spike took it.
Rainbow Dash, slow down.
You can see
You're flying past
his
important clues. Look, it's a print, but definitely not a hoof. Are those claw marks? Who cares? I found a bigger clue. I hope you don't expect me to wade through that.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
It's too deep. Zigzag.
Hmm.
Clever. What daring do book did you get that from? Actually, I learned it at Scootaloo's Philly Guides camp.
Yeah.
Oh, at least you can fly across.
Yeah. What kind of swamp is that?
Nope. If one of those geysers burns off my wing feathers, I'll be out of the Wonderbolt for weeks.
Huh.
I could try and slingshot my way through, but I need 2 perfectly placed trees, some stretchy rope, and a perfect helmet.
Guess what she just constructed.
Do did in book 4 and find a cragada for a raft. Ta-da!
Or she built a raft.
At your service.
That works too.
That is awesome! I mean, it's alright, I guess.
Is it actually bog-worthy?
How did you know how to do that? We may have been friends for a super long time, but you don't know everything about me yet.
I mean, she did make a cart when she was younger, so... No, that's a funny use of Rainbow's wings. I mean, Scootaloo...
The glitter trail, it's gone! How are we supposed to find the Amulet of Aurora now?
Unless it's right there. Ugh. What the heck? What?
Sorry, what did you say?
What the heck is that thing? Oh.
They have really sensitive ears.
What?
Did you happen to see any creature with a sparkly thingy go this way?
Saw it.
What?
Hold that thought. His breath smells so bad I can't think. But we can't hear him from back here. Now what? Aha! I think I have the perfect solution. An old unicorn beauty trick. That is, if you can somehow procure us a tiny bit of cloud. Now that I can do.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Oh, it's adorable.
It is.
Excuse me, kind sir. I have a special treat for you in exchange for your information.
What's that?
It is a magical unicorn delicacy called effervescence. Very chic.
Oh.
Sorry. Enjoy.
It's toothpaste.
My mouth. Fresh and minty.
Good.
Wow.
Now, which way did the sparkly thing go?
Up there.
Yeah, I figured.
Thank you.
I figured it would go up.
Well, what are you waiting for? Go on, fly up there and get that amulet. We're doing this together, remember?
Yep.
How can we?
Yeah, she's strong enough to carry you. Oh,
Sorry, but
That
I
looks like
wasn't
a-
leaving you behind in that
back door to the school?
Thank you. Maybe the key to unlocking this thing is in these inscriptions.
Or there's a key.
The key is right here.
I couldn't decide between the boots and the stilettos, so I got both.
Okay, that's not how lockpicking works.
Heels can do that?
And you called them useless.
No, they can't do that.
I shouldn't have said that. Or made fun of the other stuff you like to do. Some of it's actually sorta neat.
I owe you an apology, too. Buckball may not be my thing, but it's something you enjoy, and you're very good at it. I never should have treated your interests like they were worth less than mine.
True.
So...
Just don't make each other suffer through them.
I would very much like that.
Aww.
Now let's go find that amulet.
I'm guessing Spike is the one who, quote-unquote, took it.
Wait, that tunnel leads to the school? A secret passage! Awesome!
Twilight, when did you have that installed?
Lucky! You stole the amulet of Aurora? Not exactly.
It was a, ruse.
You mean this was a setup to make us get along?
Sorry to interfere, but you both
Really needed it.
Yeah? I just have to wonder, would they have needed it if Twilight...
Like any of the same stuff, you two are friends again?
Always. I think we just needed a teensy reminder.
Yeah, you don't have to love the exact same things to have fun together.
Exactly.
Imagine if we did. How boring would that be?
When we give each other a chance to share the different things we enjoy, it can be surprisingly wonderful.
Exactly.
Too bad we wasted our day of fun.
We still have a little time left. You wanna go hit the shops? I could actually use your help picking out some new buckball gear.
Do I? But only if you help me choose some buckball fan attire, so I can cheer for my favorite player at the drop of a fabulous hat.
Yeah. Let's go already.
Aww.
I absolutely know something.
That is extremely cute.
Friends always work through their differences.
even if it takes a little help.
Well, I think that was the best episode Jillian's written so far. Wow. Okay. So, how can I sum this one up? Well, for starters, let's talk about Jillian Barrow there for a second. Because her episodes have tended to be ones that I have not liked, to put it mildly. Like, they've been problematic. I know that the last one that she wrote was the Sphinx one, Somnambula's episode, which was, I think, better than her previous one, but still not great. This one, I think she at least gets it up to par here. Like, this was a pretty decent episode. It still has the thing where the moral is stated very obviously at the end, and that's kind of painful. But at the very least, the interactions between the characters worked well, and she managed to stretch the plot out in a way that felt pretty nice, actually. Like, there wasn't anything incredibly stupid going on. When I say that, what I mean is, like, say, them not recognizing Cavaleron, even though he's literally right there in front of them with just a hood over his face. Like seriously, what the heck was that? That was artificial stupidity at its worst. But no, like, as far as plots go, forget the plot for a moment. Just comparing it to, as I said earlier, like Uncommon Bond. two characters who don't really have a whole lot in common, it seems, but who are friends anyways. In Uncommon Bond, it was more specifically about friends who had lost touch, trying to find some way to reconnect. And at the end of it, Sunburst and Starlight didn't really find anything. They were just like, well, let's do the same thing we did as kids, but in a way that's made more for adults. Which, yeah, I guess. I mean, be thankful their favorite thing wasn't playing doctor when they were little. Sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help make that joke. But in this case, it's more about two longtime friends kind of forgetting why they became friends in the first place. Which, to be fair, I mean, of pretty much all of them, Rainbow Dash and Rarity are the two that I would least expect to get along just on basis of interest alone. I mean, if you think about it, like Rainbow and Pinky, they like pranks. Rainbow and Twilight both like daring do. Rainbow and Applejack are both extremely competitive. And Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy both went to the same flight school, so they've got history together that binds them. But with Rainbow Dash and Rarity, it's kind of like, what's the common ground there? And this episode didn't really give any common ground to them. I mean, it did point out that they both have an interest in reading books. That's just that they both like very different book series. And actually, I can understand why. Both of those book series sound like, honestly, they'd be kind of problematic to read. Like, for one thing, from Rarity's description of the Daring Do books, it sounds like the Daring Do books are overly telly in terms of the fight scenes, which that's actually a very big problem. If you describe when you're writing, if you describe every move during a fight scene, it really tends to drag out and feel slow and cumbersome and not at all realistic. Which could explain why Quibblepants doesn't like it, like the fight scenes and whatnot. It would feel like the book was unnecessarily padded, overly, and just done wrong. A fight scene should be quick. It should have short sentences and punchy punchy verbs and adverbs and whatnot. It shouldn't have a whole lot of description going on. Realistically, fight scenes, like any fast-paced scene, really should be more about what the characters are feeling during that, rather than what's actually happening. So, you got that. On the other hand, Rarity's book is overly telly in terms of just the description. Too much imagery, too much flowery language about things that aren't necessarily that important. Sure, they might come up later, but they don't necessarily deserve several paragraphs about them. Which is a problem that I think I have more in my writing than the other one. In my own writing, I do tend to describe a lot of the setting and the scenery and things, objects going on like that, rather than just letting the reader form a picture in their mind. So, yeah. Looking at the two different ones there, they both have their problems, but the problems are almost opposites of each other, and therefore it's very much a thing that they wouldn't really like it. If they did like those... Rainbow Dash likes a certain style, Rarity likes a certain style of writing, and therefore trying to read a book in a style of writing that you don't necessarily like, it's hard. And I mean, once you get into the book, it might not be that hard, but say Robin Cook. Robin Cook writes amazing books, and I do like his books, but actually getting into them, getting into his style of writing is very difficult. It's the kind of book that once you get reading it, you don't want to put it down, but before you get into it, you want nothing but to put it down, at least for me. So, yeah. But other than the fact that they both like to read different books, there's not really a whole lot to connect Rainbow Dash and Rarity as friends, let alone as being shipped together. We all know which reactor will love this episode, or at least like this episode and appreciate this episode. I don't think it's a spectacular episode by any means. The part with the frog thing was quite clearly padding, stretching out the length of the episode a little bit more. But it was a pretty decent episode overall. And obviously the lesson of you don't have to like the same things as your friends, you just have to enjoy spending time together, that I can appreciate. One of my best friends, one of my few friends that I had in the past, her and I really didn't have that much in common as far as interests go. What connected us was just that we liked spending time together, and oftentimes we just get each other interested in different things. She definitely expanded my interest in music and what I would be willing to listen to. I never would have listened to, say, Disturbed as a band if I hadn't been her friend, which is pretty cool. I don't know if there's anything else I can directly draw a parallel to of she got me into this, but hey, it's a thing. And in terms of this, like I said, yeah, Rarity and Rainbow Dash don't have a lot of interests, but spending time together, appreciating each other, it builds pretty good, long-lasting friendships. Thinking about other characters, I'm pretty sure Twilight will definitely appreciate Shadow Spade in its own right, since she pretty much loves all books, so that's a connection between her and Rarity. Rarity and Pinkie Pie both seem to appreciate fine dining, at least. And they do both have similar levels of energy about things that they like, so there's connections there. For Rarity and Fluttershy, both are actually have interests in clothing. That's a pretty cool one. Rarity and Applejack are kind of a bit tougher, but they do both appreciate hard work on their good days. On their bad days, you get things like the episode Honest Apple, which is still one of the worst episodes in my opinion. Other than that, who am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting one of them. No, that's all of them. So, yeah, Rarity and Rainbow Dash don't really have too many connections to each other. Both have lots of connections to their other friends, but not really so much to each other. And I'm sure you can find pairings in all of the main six where it's like, well, these are the two who are least connected. But honestly, I'm having a hard time picturing two of them that are less connected than Rainbow Dash and Rarity. So, that is interesting. Also, like, that here's a genuine lesson to be taught to the student 6, because I honestly feel like if this lesson hadn't been taught to them, they would have broken up a couple of friendships over some petty issues like this, where it's like, well, we don't like the same things, therefore we don't have any reason to hang out. Not realizing that you can like different things and hang out together and just appreciate each other and what each other likes without really actually liking it yourself. If that makes any sense, I'm basically just restating the lesson of the episode there in a different way. God, my brain is not working. But yeah, I definitely called it with Spike taking it and being the fake culprit there, and obviously it was staged. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, right. I kind of expected there to be a point where, like, Rarity suspected maybe Smolder did it, which, I mean, if she was a dragon taking that and, Yom eating it. I mean, maybe. But no, they didn't go down that route. Which, fair enough. I feel like it might have been a more natural route to go that way instead of the frog out of nowhere. But hey, why not? Let's show Rarity making toothpaste. I mean, not the weirdest thing I think this show's ever done, but it's up there. Cool that we have a new creature, though. I'm interested to see what uses that frog might get in fanfiction. And that swamp is an interesting location, too. The fact that it's basically right next to where the castle is, castle and school, kind of raises a few questions. I mean, if you think about it, didn't the castle used to basically be on the edge of an open plain? I'm pretty sure it did. But now all of a sudden there's a big hill mountain thing back there where the school sits up against it, and if you go out back of the mountain, there's apparently forests and more mountains and a swamp and that gorge that Rainbow Dash and Applejack almost fell down in God, what was that episode? The best teacher episode there. You probably know, the one where they were competing. But yeah, it seems like a weird change in geography. So if anybody wants to correct me on that and give me a point to look at, like, oh no, there was always hills behind the tree castle, I just never noticed them. Like, if anybody wants to point me in that direction, feel free to, but I'm pretty sure it was on the edge of an open plain. So yeah, it definitely feels kind of weird. Not that I'm opposed to it. I mean, maybe something happened in between season 7 and 8 to actually cause this change in the landscape. Maybe it was a product of the Storm King's invasion. Or maybe it was something that happened because of Stygian. Now, there would be an interesting thing there. He might have warped the landscape around Ponyville a little bit somehow. That would have been pretty cool to show. Of course, we know how I feel about that episode. But about this episode, no, I think it's pretty good. Pretty solid. Probably the best, or definitely the best episode that Jillian's written so far. So I'm glad to see her improving. Hopefully, if she writes another episode this season or next season, they're even better episodes, whatever. Otherwise, I don't think I have too much to say about this one. It definitely seems like a pretty straightforward episode. I do have to wonder which race that amulet belonged to, because I don't remember it being I thought the Sea Ponies one was a shell. So if that's not a Sea Pony one, who does it belong to? Does it belong to the dragons? That could actually be a thing, because the Sea Pony artifact, the shell, was said to summon a dragon, right? So it would be kind of interesting if the dragons and the Sea Pony exchanged artifacts. The Sea Ponies gave the dragons something that could control the sea, and the dragons gave them something that could summon a dragon army. That would, or at least one dragon. That would actually be a pretty cool bit of backstory right there. I wish we'd have actually gotten some clarification on that. But if that is the case, that would be really cool. An intercultural exchange not between ponies, or not really requiring ponies. It definitely would have been something ancient, and probably wouldn't be something... There probably isn't any truce between the dragons and the Sea Ponies in the modern times. But it would be pretty cool to note. And interesting to note that we're still keeping those artifacts around. I kind of figured those would be one-off things, but a lot of people have noted that we're getting a lot more mentions of Clover the Clever recently, so maybe we'll get to actually see Clover the Clever at some point. I mean, Star Swirl's back, so why shouldn't Star Swirl's protege, their pupil, come back? That would be interesting, especially if Clover really was an ancestor of Twilight, which is something that I've posited, and I think other people have posited or have thought of it as well, that Twilight might be descended from this great wizard person thing there. You know what I'm saying. So, yeah. Other than that, can't really think of too much to say. Nice to see Buckball back and the Appaloosan team coming back there. Kind of disappointed Applejack wasn't joining in, but I suppose she probably has work to do. And yeah, I mean, nice little episode here. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling now. I've got to go get something to eat and also to drink. I'm starting to get a headache. And yeah, I'm going to just sign off and say see you next time. Bye.